Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Anna Alexis Podcast. We are just getting everything up and running. So thank you so much for being flexible while we get everything all set to go. I have no clue what is happening with my video right now. So I'm just going to say, apparently this is an off-camera episode. I had no idea this was an off-camera episode, but apparently we are doing an off-camera episode. So we are just going to be flexible. And that really ties into what we're going to be talking about tonight. Part of me wants to jokingly say, like, wow, I'm so glad I brushed my hair, that I put on a nice shirt, and that I got ready for this. But maybe somewhere there is a camera on somewhere. But if not, again, it's about being flexible. For those of you that this is your first time tuning in, this is our 21st episode of the Anna Alexis Podcast. And I just want to welcome you and say that this really is the place where people are getting together to say, like, hey, I do have something else I want to do with my life. There is something that is important to me. There's something that I want to do. There's something I want to be a part of, but maybe I'm not doing that right now. And it's a place to be able to say, like, hey, I'm going to do that. Like I'm ready for that. I want to do that. And giving you that space to be able to have that freedom, to be able to choose yourself, and not choosing yourself in every single moment of every day, because know that that is super challenging and not a lot of people can do that. And so, but just finding those ways and those wins to say, like, hey, I'm doing this. Hey, I'm a part of this. Hey, I'm ready to go and start my journey, whatever it is, and taking the first steps to be able to do that. So whether that is starting your own business, whether that is you're having a baby, whether that's you're taking a job across country, whatever it is, you're learning to play guitar, whatever it is, it's you just being able to show up for yourself and say yes. And so what we talked about a little bit last week is that we wanted to talk about this week is the title of the episode is Life's a Dance. And that can be so hard for myself to kind of recognize. I love two-step dancing. I absolutely love it. I think it is thebomb.com. However, when the music's playing and we're going, I love it. But what's challenging is that sometimes I forget that there's a music of life that is playing that I also forget. And I somehow can get so caught up in doing things by tasks and check marks that I really can let go of the fact that we're alive means that the music is playing, and giving yourself that opportunity to show up and to be able to do that. And so just one is just giving you permission to be able to do that and to be able to say, like, hey, it's okay for you to show up in this moment and be vulnerable and to be seen and to go with what you're wanting to go for instead of just sitting in the background, and really just giving you a chance to remember that you deserve to be the main character in your life, not the tree that's somewhere to the side that nobody's going to remember. And also that you don't have to be in the audience either. You can be on the stage living your life while also being in the front row of the people you love's lives. I think that's one of the most beautiful quotes that I had ever heard was saying, like, I'm so glad I got to sit in the front row of your life watching it unfold. Like I got to be right there and about it, and just giving us all a chance, the opportunity to say, who do we want to do that for? How do we want to show up? What is it we want to bring to the table? And if you don't know what you want to bring to the table, the answer is the table. You want to be the table. But to just kind of look back at yourself to say, how is it I want to show up in these moments? And again, like I said, remembering that life is about getting to dance while the music is being played, and not thinking that the music is being played somewhere in the future, far away, or so far. And so just giving yourself that chance to say, I'm ready to show up. I'm ready to take that step. But what can be hard is to say, cool, I'm going to embrace life's a dance. We're going to do this. But how do we get there? How do we find ourselves in that flow? And I will tell you, I will be the first one to let you know that I do not have it 100% figured out. But what I do know is that showing up is better than not showing up. Like right now, my camera's not working. We're on our 21st episode. I've never had that happen before. And there's a part of me that wants to shake this ever-loving computer and get it to work. but that's not going to get me what I want. That's not going to get me where I want to go. And so just understanding that sometimes you can show up and do your best and wonder, why the heck is this not working out? And being able to be a part of that, to be able to still say, I'm doing it, instead of, oh, well, these things happened, and so then I wasn't able to do it. And it's like, okay, yeah, stuff happens for everyone. I'm reading Atomic Habits right now. And one of the things that is really just kind of like really shook my mind is where it says winners and losers have the same goals. And I'm just going to say that again. Winners and losers have the same goals. But we fail to acknowledge, let's say, the quote unquote losers of the situation, or the person that maybe didn't get what they wanted. And why is that? And it's really about those daily habits and what they're putting in place. And we can talk about habits. We probably will in future episodes. But the episode what I want to focus on tonight is really just asking yourself, like, are you enjoying your journey? Are you enjoying your journey? And are you showing up and enjoying it in a way that makes you want to relive it? Because I know when the, people, the NDs, and they say, you get to see your life flash before your eyes. And I just want to ask you, like, if that had to happen right now, is it something worth watching? Is it something that you'd be like getting to all the people on the other side and going, oh my gosh, look at this. This is when I was at my son's game. They won the championship. Oh, look at that. Oh, look, this is when I married the love of my life, or I asked her to marry me. Look at this. Or, oh my God, look, there was that business that we started that, oh my God, we could have just shit our pants. We were so scared to do it, but we did it. Look what we did. Or if you had to look at that replay of your life, would you be going, dang, I really should have showed up for that person, but I thought I was too tired? Or, man, I wish I wouldn't have been so scared to go for that business because of all the crazy, terrible things that happened in life. That wasn't ever going to be one of them. Man, I was so scared to take that trip, to make that move, to tell that person I love them, to show up even for myself. I was too scared to live the real version of me. And so you're watching that highlight reel just full of regret. And so as we kind of make that transition to knowing, like, cool, like, I'm not this human machine that is made to just do this task and this task and this task and Monday through Friday, and then this is our weekends. I'm really meant to enjoy it. And again, how do I do that? And so really just wanting to challenge you to say, identify what's important to you. What are you going to cherish? And letting that sink in. A few episodes ago, I did my favorite episode up until now that was about how regret can be vital to living a happy life. And I challenged our listeners to say, hey, what if this was your last holiday season as it was? What would you want to make sure that you did, or it would just eat you alive? What would those things be that you would just regret, that you say you're going to do every year and you never do? And not just for the holidays, for the next year. Like, instead of making your New Year's resolution about losing 15 pounds, like, what do you want to do with that healthy body? How do you want to show up? What is it that you want to be able to do and to give and to go? Is it so that you can hike up to the top of Notre Dame? Notre Dame. I always get those confused. Is it so that you can walk on the beach with your grandkids? Make what you would regret the thing that you want to be able to go and do. And so, as a little bit of an update, every year we say, like, let's try to do like a corn maze or a haunted house. And you know what? We don't do it. I've known about this state dog park in Colorado. It is amazing for years now. Couldn't make the time because it was 45 minutes away. But one of the things that Jeff and I said that we wanted to start prioritizing was just being able to do things and following through on doing things. So did we do the haunted house? Yes. Did I? No. That's not my life. Did him and Cam? Yes. Did we take our dogs to the state dog park? Yes, we did. And it was so fun. And working even through the kinks of us still wanting to be able to travel, because traveling with a newborn is like playing Russian roulette. He might sleep the whole flight. He might not. He might be happy. He might be not. He might have a blowout to his shoulders and then over the Pacific Ocean. He might not. It's just really all getting into that, but really just wanting to ask yourself, for you, how can you show up and enjoy your journey? Because I think sometimes we forget about this, but this like soul suit that we're wearing, we are living in a very incredibly temporary human existence. And as we're getting closer to the holidays, I really want you to ask yourself, is what I'm doing important to me? And then reevaluating if that answer is no. And finding the courage that if your answer is no, to figure out what is and shift a new course. Because like we've talked about in previous episodes, you cannot change your destination overnight, but you can always change your direction. You can always say, I'm going to make my next right move. And it's going to take some time. You can't just turn a cruise ship around like jumping around all loosey-goosey. That's not how that works. If you need to go a different way, it's going to be slow and long. And some days it might suck and the weather might be inclement, or it'll be too hot, or the waves will be too big. But what you need to know is if you know where you're going and you know where you want to end up, then those little small tiny things are going to get you exactly where you want to go. And so as we're going through and saying life's a dance, where are you in the dance? Are you on the dance floor? Are you standing against the wall waiting for someone to ask you? Are you just drinking at the punch bowl, thinking this doesn't matter anyway? Or are you in the parking lot, thinking that it doesn't really matter? Because I assure you that if you're dancing with a partner or not, that's who's having the best time. And if you're waiting for someone to ask you to dance, girl, just get out there. Because I assure you that once you get out there, people are going to follow you. And it's about getting people out there. It's about saying, I'm not going to just stand on the sidelines and wait for my whole life to pass by because I was too scared to do anything, or because there were so many steps that I just got frozen. So many times life is just about doing it. It's about saying yes. It's about committing to something and moving forward and not being so caught up in, well, what about this? Or what about this? Cool. If what you do doesn't work, start something else. You are fully capable of doing absolutely anything that you want to do if you will just stick with it. So as you try to go from your rigid machineness, understand that this is a temporary human existence, and you only get to dance while the music is being played, which is while you're getting to be in this existence. And if you're not doing what you want to be doing, have the guts to say, I'm ready for my next step. And if you don't know what that is, start asking, because I guarantee you the soul within you will give you a whisper and it will tell you. And maybe it already did. And maybe what it told you is kind of scary. And that's okay. It's okay to say, wow, what I heard, that would mess up a lot. That would do a lot. That would take a lot. Listen, you only get one time getting to be who you are. One time, no redos. And you're going to have to watch your life flash before your eyes no matter what. So just make it something worth watching for you. Make it something that your whole soul is just going to cry your face out over because you're so happy that you did it, instead of standing there going, wow, I'm an infinite being that was created by an infinite power, and I was too scared to leave that job, leave that relationship, tell that person I loved them, move across the country, move internationally, to do anything. I was too scared to make a move. Realize that if you're in your truth and you're making a move, you can do absolutely anything. And tune in next week if you forget, because I will be here every Tuesday at 6:30, camera or not, to remind you, you've got this. I believe in you. And we're going to do this. Have a great night.